throw this link.
Yeah.
All right. Episode 45. Mofos. I can't even believe it. It took long enough to go from 44 to 45, I guess, but we're here. We're doing it.
Be back. We're out here.
We done robos.
Now with the landscape camera instead of the portrait camera. Absolutely huge.
Let me upgrade you.
It's a laptop, but it's also a webcam upgrade, so that's big. Huge career moves.
I have hit the Twitter.
I have hit Facebook. All the people who just memed my post, god damn it.
Wait, what?
Posts a photo of Link. Just gonna.
All right, who do we have in here? Necro, Schema, William. William's just laughing his ass off in here.
I don't know what BB's referencing to. The Link one, like from Zelda, as well that you put, and then the links by Scott, and then you literally put like chain links. So I'm put a company like the CS like files used for linkage problem or problems have been funny, but programs. That's what it is.
All right, we got a few good topics for today too, I think. Got some good action in that comment section. I was hyped, dude, even though we weren't doing like streams and everything when my internet was complete bullshit.
Yeah.
They were people like asking to join the Facebook group and everything, so thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. That's awesome to see.
Well, boys, look at us now. We wasted 45 weeks to talk about mindless garbage. Much love, brothers. Man, that was sassy today, bro.
I mean, it wasn't all mindless garbage, but I like the mindless garbage a lot, so thanks for the support.
Thank you very much. I choose you, 31.
Oh my god.
It's Tommy from Two-Face. I send you that VIP. Tight. Do it. Tommy is that boy. Horace has no mind, apparently. He comes in and says his name, and then he says he has no mind. Yeah.
I like how he literally just said horse.
Yeah.
Walks it. I have no mind.
Himself.
Kills me.
Halfway at halfway. What does that mean?
We're almost at 50. 5 more.
Halfway.
We'll have our 50th anniversary special.
Oh. Joseph Clark. Who that?
Oh, it's the man on my post. Dropping memes. Nice, cool, dude. He's from Baltimore. Full support.
Who's from Baltimore?
Horace.
Oh, what?
Yep.
He's wild for that. Very wild.
Exactly.
Almost done with this green tea. I had pizza today. Boy, that shit was tight.
Ooh, that's dope. I had Famoso pizza. If you've ever tried that, that's probably a Canadian thing, but I had that the other day. It's like Italian made like flatbread pizza. So good.
That's tight.
Like oven baked. So dope.
Is Devour IDK his name working on any projects? Devour is my actual brother. A lot of people think that we just said that, but he's my actual brother. And he hasn't made music in a while. He did like one like kind of spur of the moment show recently just because promoters asked him if he wanted to. He's not working on any music right now. He's doing real life big boy shit. He just bought a house and all that stuff. He's living it up. I just saw him this weekend.
Damn. Well, I love his tunes. I was actually showing my friend his tunes recently. Especially what you call it, the one Outnumber you made with him. I love that track.
Yeah, that was fun.
Need to play that one.
We sampled a sample, and it was fun.
I think I will. I'm gonna play Outnumbered in New York.
So you actually played the devil in that church?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. And I played Duffy and Lee remix and Bounty Hunter.
The Duffy and Lee remix.
Super hot.
Ballin'. Serenade H worth shit right now. One sec. Oh, YouTube doesn't auto reload when you go live. How great! Damn you, technology. Dude, so I was I forgot to tell you this today. I was playing Battlefield 1 on PS4, and after a match, I get a message from Jake Colshaw on Facebook, and it's a screenshot of the scoreboard. He said like, "Well done, Colin," or something, and apparently he was in the game. I was like, "What the fuck?"
That's amazing.
+4 again.
Yeah, that's like with me and Kevin from Blood Thinners. Like literally, we randomly got match made with each other in Halo. I love that shit so much.
Yeah. He said you did well there, mate. Proud of you. After the game, just with this out of the scoreboard.
Yeah, GG, well played.
I was really out there. The game is so good, dude. I've missed Battlefield really bad, if I'm honest. Okay, so we have 8 viewers. Yeah, that does suck, honestly. There are some glitches in there that I'm just like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Minecraft. Did you see the Minecraft 4K reveal? I was like,
yeah, it was so funny. It was like Skyrim. Sorry to cut you off, but how it's announced every year.
yeah.
I love it.
I was like, why of all games does Minecraft need crazy 4K support? You can see every enlarged pixel even better.
I know, it's literally the least demanding game ever, and it's trying to get like nicer looking. Kills me. Next, we're gonna have Roblox in 4K.
Yeah. Yeah, AFK is the dawn of video games. I remember when I thought I was hot shit in Halo, he came through and gave me a little ass whooping. I could kind of hang with him, but he was still just way nicer at everything we played together. E-gaming too. It's like, damn, I'm jealous, dude. Once I'm making some serious fucking squib, I'm gonna get a PC for gaming.
Yeah, that's all I've been doing. The Steam sale is so good right now. And
Yeah,
with
I got
my new laptop.
$24.
What did you get? Sorry.
I got,
oh shit, that's real good.
Yeah, it was on sale after E3. There were like a bunch of post E3 game sales. It was like, dude, Deus Ex was one of them, and I was so tempted to get it. It was like $15, and I didn't.
You should have, man. It's so good.
I know, I was asleep, but I don't have enough fucking room on my computer for all that shit. I wasn't gonna be able to get both of them.
I might get Human Revolution because I played through Mankind Divided, and that one was apparently like kind of like rushed. Even though it was super good, it was actually pretty short. I felt too because I did like literally everything in the game practically, and I beat it in like 40 or 30 hours, but like that's because I did everything and I took my time and made sure I didn't kill anyone. If I was killing people, it probably would have taken me like half that time, maybe 20 hours.
Yeah.
But Human Revolution takes like 100 hours to beat, or a ridiculous amount if you take your time. So
did you see really Save Humanity
in the original?
No.
Sorry, you glitched it up.
It's this game Detroit that's going to be coming out.
Oh yeah, I it looked like it changed a lot from last year's E3. You're like a cop. I'm not sure if you like alternate characters, but I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, there are multiple characters that we play through.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. But it looked really good. I love games like that. I love like all the Telltale games. I love Life is Strange. I guess it's pretty much it that I've played that are like that. So Heavy Rain. I've played Heavy Rain. That's good.
Dude, did you see the video I shared of the guy playing Heavy Rain and fucking up everything?
Dude, that was the best thing ever. I want to see the full video if there is one.
Dude, that's so good. The guy was laughing so hard too.
Oh. I like how it allows him to like keep chasing and going. It doesn't even like screw you up. You don't even need to say technically.
He just keeps. He gets hit by 2 cars in a row.
Kills you, man.
All right. You want to get started on a couple of these topics here?
Sounds good, man.
Let's see. Pointers on mix downs, like some guidelines or tips we can use when mixing down our own tracks. Every mix down is different based on person and the track. A few guidelines or tips will be wonderful. The biggest thing is try not to overdo it, I guess, because there are a bunch of people that just kill their dynamics before they even master. So at the mix down phase, we still want shit to be pretty dynamic before it hits the master chain.
Yeah, I used to be pretty bad for that, so that's definitely a good improvement. That I highly recommend is being dynamic instead of just blasting it and you can't even master it. Kind
of. Did you see the Spotify loudness thing that's going on?
No. Is it?
So they're like lowering the target, basically RMS. And for those who don't know what RMS is, it's the average loudness of any given track, because every track hits 0 decibels at its peak. So everything is going to be the same loudness, but there's perceived loudness that you bringing up the noise floor and everything, and the average loudness of the track. So basically they're lowering that and normalizing all the music through their platform to hit that average loudness. So essentially what all that means is that they're like killing the loudness war.
Yeah.
Dynamic songs are obviously going to sound better at like whatever the RMS is than the same RMS of a track that's like completely squashed just to get it loud.
Yeah, man. Another thing I'd recommend too, on top of that, would be just automation. Automation. I guess I like controlling like the release of stuff like specifically. Although side chaining is really nice, and I do that for a lot of things. It's nice to like be able to see exactly what's being drawn from all your synths and drums, etc., and having full control over it. I think things hit a lot like cleaner, and you can see how it's cutting through by doing that. And it's super simple to do too, so it's win-win kind of thing.
Automation, yeah, I would say that's a pretty huge part in getting a nice smoothed out mix down too, because in some areas you might have, like, say your snare has a similar bottom frequency to like some of the synths that are on the drop. It cuts through really nice on the intro, but some of the synths on the drop are overlaying in such a way that the snare kind of gets ducked. You could even like automate the snare up during the drop in volume or something. That's one way to go. And obviously there are different ways to go about it, but like automation can just kind of bring stuff together like that. Like, it's not always like you have to find out this crazy fucking way to like make things cut through. It's like you can use the simplest tools at your advantage and just figure it out yourself, you know?
Yeah. I couldn't agree more, man. That's been like, I mean, I've always done that, but now I'm like super stringent on automating, like not everything, but as much as I can, just to make sure I have full control, kind of thing.
Yeah. It helps things feel like more alive too. You know, you have things shifting around in the mix depending on what point the song is at and everything. It could be as simple as like structure of your sounds or something like that, like automating a filter over a certain amount of time and stuff like that. Or it could be like we were talking about, like complete mix down elements that you're presenting differently in different areas of the track. So
absolutely, yeah,
really
definitely brings into dynamics as well too, and that's how you control your dynamics basically. So if you want one part of your track to sound much louder and hit much harder, way louder, as very much louder. Yeah, that's how you do it. But also quietness is nice, breaks is nice, glitches are nice, so allows you to do that.
Yes.
No effectrix needed.
I remember on my Drop Your Head remix, my remix of Bong Drop Your Head, were like a couple minutes on the second drop. They were like, "Oh wow, you used effectrix or something like that," and I was like, "Actually, no, I did not," because I literally cut up the master of that track and made it glitch like that. Colin, are you in Ableton yet, Kyle? By the way, hi Kyle, Kilobyte, you suck. So, yes, I have been fucking with Ableton quite a bit lately. I'm still getting used to not having all the like beautiful instruments at my disposal like I do on Logic, but you know, I love.
Dark and creepy atmosphere in massive Serum. To be honest, when I do a fat atmosphere, and that's just me, I really like using like a fat FX chain, like generally high in wetness in the low end on a reverb, like Fruity Reverb 2 is even something I still mess around with. I think toying if you have a pad like synth or whatever, and throwing an FX chain like that on is really nice, as well as ping pong like delay as well. It's really nice and atmospheric if you have it like panning consistently.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
but all kinds of combinations of like reverbs and delays and stuff like that can help you achieve something a bit more atmospheric. Like you can just get completely abstract with spatial plugins and everything. Nice Yak shirt, by the way.
Thanks.
Um,
Yeah.
but if, like, say you even have like a percussion sound or something like that, you can make that an atmospheric element just by adding like stupid reverb and delays and phasers and shit like that.
Exactly, man. It depends what type of sound you're kind of going for. If you're going for more like Reese kind of thing, like atmospheric synth to start out an intro, for example, I would recommend a phaser. I love effectors, phaser particularly. I love effector in general. If anyone uses FL here, it's the bee's knees. You can actually download it. I'm pretty sure from ImageLine.
FL Reverb is the worst.
Oh, reverb is the worst.
All right, Horace, take care. Yeah.
Have a nice night.
Kyle got me on to how Emmer Nash.
Oh,
Emmer very.
I've been using Valhalla quite a bit. I love it. It's awesome. It's really good for the big room, like kind of like extremely like atmospheric sound we were kind of talking about earlier. Especially, I love the '80s one. I think that one cuts through the nicest, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so much good shit from them. Anyway, let's see what else we have here to touch on. Sidechain compression. That's a thing. Here, I'm gonna load up Logic and I'll just kind of show them.
So it's good. Yeah. I'm actually curious too what you use in Logic.
Yeah, I just use the standard compressor most of the time in Logic for sidechain compression.
Yeah, it makes sense. I just use Fruity Limiter a lot of the time, or I'll just automate it myself.
I've actually never done it with a limiter before. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me just set this up and then I'll switch over to a screen share. Bring up that good old massive. And get a kick in here. Oh man, I just found myself reaching for an Ableton key command. It's already begun.
You've already transitioned to the dark side.
I have, dude. I never thought I'd see the day. Okay, let me figure out how I need to do this. Okay, this should work. Okay, so sake of time management, I'll just do a shitty saw synth and take it from there. F because rhythm.
F and F sharp. That's it. That's all we're doing.
Okay. All right. So the theory behind, not theory, but the intention, I guess, behind sidechain compression is to like here we're going to be doing for a kick. So basically it gives the kick room to breathe without needing to blow the kick out crazy in volume. So where's my regular compressor? Here it is. Okay. Here's a compressor. Hey, bon. So you want no attack, basically, or very, very quick attack on your compressor. Attack and release are on every compressor, by the way, so this isn't like fucking, it's not like, oh, I don't have logic compressor, I can't do this. You want your auto gain off because that's basically just going to push the volume back to where it was when it ducks. Then this is fader kick, so this is my sidechain signal. This is going to be where things differ kind of drastically between DAWs. You're going to have to figure out where you need to go to get a sidechain signal, but once you do that, you just like route it to a kick. And then you'll see, actually, let me bring that back up. You'll see here now. So as opposed to the original, which is this, now you have this. So you see what I mean about like it just making room for shit. Basically, it's once you get to a certain point of loudness, obviously 0 is 0. There's no more headroom left. Basically what it does is it allows you, like, especially when it comes to mastering, like these guys, there are a lot of people mentioning Murda right now. I believe he does it really heavily. And then what that allows you to do at the mastering phase is that you can like come in hot with the mastering and give it a bunch of limiting or compression or whatever the hell you're doing on your master bus. And it doesn't end up sacrificing the balance between your synth and kick. So the kick is going to come through, and as you keep pushing it harder, the kick is still going to come through really, really hard, but it's just going to bring everything up around it. So if you weren't to do that and you were to slam a limiter really hard, you get some kind of like pumping and nasty artifacts and everything that's going to make your track sound really washed out, and like all the elements are just like one nasty mess. So the bottom line is it creates space and room in your mix depending on how you use it, and it's not limited just to drums either. Like you could even route, like if you were working with vocals and like maybe when the vocals come in, there are like guitars that are too loud at that point because guitars are in a similar like living range in terms of frequency. So you could like sidechain the vocals to the guitar. So when the vocals hit, the guitar is getting ducked down like a few decibels or something. It just allows you that much more clarity without having to go in and like and blah, 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 you know, if you don't want to get that in depth with shit.
Absolutely. That was solid. It's cool seeing how it's done in Logic. Need to pick up Ableton. I hear the side chaining is real nice in Ableton.
Yeah.
It's real user friendly.
Dude, that's the story of Ableton. It's just user friendly, dude. That's all I think of when I think of Ableton at this point. It's just so intuitive and streamlined.
I'm gonna download it.
You really should. We can work on shit, bro.
That'd be dope. Like sharing project file, I find much more intuitive than stems for sure.
Yeah. Oh shit, dude. After like the second time of bouncing stems, you're like, when is this track gonna be done?
I know. I hated bouncing stems from FL too. I don't know why. It's just I'm like pretty unorganized in my project files sometimes too.
Same.
Particularly with the automation, ironically, as I recommended it earlier, but yeah.
Brandon said, is there a difference in sidechain compression and mid-side compression? Absolutely. So sidechain compression, as I just showed you, is like ducking a signal in relation to another signal. Mid-side compression is a pretty deep concept, and it's going to sound really weird to like go over this verbally. It would even be really weird to show you, and I'm sure you probably couldn't really hear what it was doing. But the idea behind mid-side compression is that every sound has information that's completely center, which is going to be your mid channel, and then completely side channel.
Yeah.
So what that means is when you're doing mid-side compression, it means that you can treat both of those signals differently. So like if you were to have a mid-side compressor and you threw it on something that had some kind of stereo width, and you were just to compress the side channel, and then you bring it back up, obviously, to unity gain, which just means before and after the compressor, it's the same volume. You could essentially make a sound wider just because the sides are now more up and less dynamic and everything. So basically, that's like a way to stereo image, as well as like potentially get more air out of your sound, have it sound not as like dense and tightly packed and stuff like that. I don't know. It's I would recommend definitely doing some engineering research before you really got into stuff like that. I don't think it's completely necessary. I've used it on like maybe one of my release tracks so far. So it's not crucial by any means. A lot of mid-side processing isn't like crazy heavily used, but once you start understanding the concepts, it can just kind of help you get a little closer to what you have in your mind, or just set things into place in the mix and with like a different tool, I guess. Because there's all kinds of ways to mix down, but like some people can go heavily on mid-side processing. Some people can go heavily on, you know, it's just up to personal preference at the end of the day.
I find mid-side compression a really nice and specific alternative to using a dimension expander. So if you've used a dimension expander before, I think you'll be able to learn and grasp it a little better, like if you've effectively used a dimension expander, because it makes that wider kind of stereo sound. And sometimes if you have synths that don't utilize that well, or don't have that many dynamics, it can really just bring it out in your mix, and it sounds beautiful. I've been using it quite a bit, to be honest, but I do usually use a dimension expander instead, because it gets the job done for me. It's a lot quicker.
Yeah. The thing with the dimension expander is that the reason that it thickens up your sound so much is that it's a combination of a delay and a chorus effect, if I'm not mistaken. So having the sound delayed, but in addition to chorus, the chorus modulates obviously over time, so it separates it from the original signal. So it just like kind of blows it out and gives you this perceived stereo field that's amazing.
Yeah. Makes it thick.
With 2 C's.
Always.
Just if Santa Claus is real, don't make him real. Just Kyle. Who's he talking to? Sidechaining is tight. Do that shit.
True. That's the moral of the story.
When I saw Tommy was saying something. can you record live automation in Logic? Yes, you can. Mix sounds are just as important to creativity to me always. Yeah, I agree. That's the thing. Like, as I've been researching engineering and everything and trying to up my opinion that way, it's like kind of ignited my music production again, because aside from knowing how to correctly do things, you also have this whole new arsenal of things that you can use creatively that don't need to be done, but it's still engineering and you can use it in a creative manner, and it can really bring a new level of depth and personality to your tracks. It's
Yeah. Yeah, I love what you can do just through engineering. It honestly does make and break a track for me, at least, especially as a listener. I find too, as a producer, it's a lot of fun doing when you're making your projects, but just like listening to other tracks, if you see like the little touches people did just to make a track more dynamic or more like effective and like actually capture like an experience through dynamics, etc. I really love what you can do just through a mix down. It's actually quite beautiful.
yeah, it is. I remember I used to, since I didn't even pay attention to like engineering at all before, I used to like love ideas I had for songs, and I would just like, I would end up going in and being like, this doesn't sound right, and I would only fuck with the sounds because that's all I knew how to fuck with, and like sometimes I'd end up kind of ruining the initial idea and be like, fuck, that's not even helping at all. Like, it still sounds like shit. And then I just end up giving up on the project, you know? And now, like, there are some ideas that are like years old that I still want to at least play out. I might not release them, but like, just for fun, I'll go in and like actually engineer them and fix everything that's wrong for them. I think it's like good practice for one, and two, it's like life into older tracks that I can like actually confidently now play out and stuff, which is really cool to me.
Yeah, like this last week, just transferring stuff over, I found so many old like tracks of mine, and I've like went in and I'm redoing a mix down. Like that one track by me, Lunacy, I'm gonna redo the mix down and release it, just for fun. It's actually nice to see because there's like no dynamics in that track. It's old, it's distorted, and I wanna make the sound actually like really pop and see what I can do. It's nice to like.
Yeah.
I like that idea a lot though. Like it's a really good initial idea, but I think like if you fix a mix down, it could make all the difference kind of thing. That's a good example of it.
Yeah. As a listener, my producer knowledge is bare minimum, but what makes the part at 1 minute 20 seconds on Bounty Hunter so dope? Hold on. I'm gonna have to pull that up because I don't remember what happens at.
I think that's the breakdown.
Is it? It could be.
I always have to play that part.
Yeah. Yeah, it is the breakdown. So what do you want to know about that? I'm not sure exactly what you're getting at.
It's like a question and a statement. But I think what he's saying is like that's what makes the part at 120 in Bounty Hunter so dope. I'm hoping that's what he's saying. But like I really like how like there's different elements and how they react with each other. Particularly in the back, you have the brass just going off, which or the orchestra.
Yeah.
The strings rather. I mean,
Yeah, orchestral elements. That's what I miss from Logic.
Yeah. Do they have like good? They have good stock stuff then, eh? For that.
Oh God, it's second to none, dude. I've had so many people like Ableton and FL users and stuff. I'll be like, "What piano is that?" Or like, "What strings library is that?" And I'm like, "Just
Logic.
stock Logic." They're like, "What?" It's
That's
sick.
awesome.
Like I said, I was talking to Aus AU5 or Aus. I don't know exactly how to pronounce it, but I met him in Philly for the Castaway show,
Cool.
and he was saying that, like, you can find all the files for those sampler instruments in Logic and copy them over to Ableton's sampler. So I have to get in touch about that and pick his mind on that again, because if I could get that into Ableton, then I would be 100% Ableton. Like, there would be no question about it.
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be sick if you could.
Yeah.
Rewire Logic into Ableton.
Yeah, right. That's the thing. Like, I would even resample orchestral elements, but at the same time, I like having them in MIDI so it's malleable. I can change progressions here and there and stuff like that. I don't like committing to like one progression that I'm gonna sample. I think that we're getting kind of stagnant.
Yeah, now you're evolving.
Yeah.
Don't limit yourself to the Logic.
Yeah. I'm trying, man. All right, boys, I'm gonna go make some bongo snares now. Nice. Bongos.
Yeah.
Those are always fun.
I need to start doing that for myself is like making plans for like shit I need to make today. Like just one day be like, I'm gonna make bongo snares. That'd be so fun to just like try and like make a specific sound. I've done that. I used to do that when I was like learning sound design mainly. I just usually make what I want for the track and I'll do that in mind, but it'd be fun to just like try and make samples and stuff like that. Just choose one a day. Just practice the sound design.
I want to get into like heavily practicing sound design again, especially now that I'm on Serum. I've been trying to like, I mean, I'll show you something after we're off the stream. I'll bounce something out for you. It's a new project that I'm using like exclusively Serum in. It's fun. Dude. I definitely am getting more comfortable with it. It seems like I'm reaching for it like a decent amount now, as opposed to it being like the afterthought,
Exactly, man. I like using them in conjunction with one another now. Like I like layering like the low end of like Serum, like low mid end of Serum with a massive. Mainly because I found I got much grainier sounds out of massive, which is nice, like more grungy kind of. The distorted sounds I prefer in massive.
Yeah.
But I get the high end of that to mid end on top, and then I'll lower it with the low end of Serum, and that makes it really clean, and it doesn't like distort as much, but still sounds really nice. I've been doing
Serum
that a lot lately.
Nice low tones that are like super dynamic. I agree. Like the distortion that's built into Serum seems very dynamically restricting sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes when you do it, it like drains the fucking life out of the sound you're working on. But me, I'm like trained to hear it in my head, like, oh, if I use distortion because of massive, I'm like, oh, if I use distortion on this, it's going to bring out this tone from the filter and blah, 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 just because I know massive like that. And I'm like, wait a second, that's not what I was looking for. Classic tube all day, bro.
Yeah, I was just going to say classic tube gang still put this. Like,
dude, it's so good. It is so good.
It's the best, honestly. What plugins do you use out of Massive for distortion? I'm like, Classic tube.
Yeah.
All day.
Classic tube. I have been using a little bit of trash lately, I gotta admit.
Yeah, I'm trying to get more acquainted with it because I bought that during like all the holiday sales.
Yeah, because I fucking told you. I was like, dude,
Yeah.
don't miss this.
I was like, at the time I was like, I don't even care. This is my Christmas gift. Like,
Yeah.
get some DST plugins.
Yes, dude.
Loved it.
Yeah, I'm in love with it. Do you guys use the scripter plugin in Logic at all? I don't. I just had James, Dark Elixir or Siskiyou, however you want to call him. I think he was telling me something about that, where you can like text script shit to like change audio. But
Yeah.
we didn't talk in depth on it just yet. But I gotta hit him up because that sounds so cool. Sounds like a nerdy thing.
That's part of being a producer is nerding out, though. To be honest. 31/7 nerding out.
31.
That's such a fire meme. Beats the original. Dude, for sure.
As soon as I saw the original, I knew I had to do it. I was like,
yeah, I deserved it. Just a happy Doug Trio too, or Diglets.
Yeah. That was too good. Yeah, to answer Brandon Fitzgerald's other question, he said, can you also explain how to get a snare to punch through the mix? I'm sure it has to do with compression. I guess I'm just not
honestly
great with understanding how to use compression.
So to cut you off, the easiest way I think to just, especially if you haven't gotten the hang of sidechaining yet, or automation like I was discussing earlier, I would just move it like slightly. If you're putting a kick where you're placing your snare, if you just put it slightly ahead of it, it just immediately cuts through, and it actually gives it more of an organic feel. So I like that. Although I still sidechain it when I do that, but lightly, because it's already punching a little early. That's like one of a beginner way though. I've been doing that for a long time. So, but I would highly recommend it, especially if it's really distinct in the low mid ends. It's gonna clash with your kick a lot, so you're gonna want to put it in front of it so it doesn't conflict with each other like really bad, because it can. I noticed a lot of my old mix downs had that issue, so side chain.
What, kick and snare overlaid?
Yeah, and it would distort when that happened. It would clip. I noticed that.
Very sad.
Be sad, I know. Wish I could go back.
That reacts only for the mix downs that never were.
They were, unfortunately.
I mean, that never were.
Yeah, that never made it.
Yeah. Yeah. Never quite made it to sounding good, like great, you know.
Yeah.
I used Homicide. There were 2 projects I released that I used Homicide, and then I never used it again because, like, I think I got a new computer or something. But it was my Make It Bundem remix I used Homicide on, and one of my tracks that I gave out for free called "Fuck With Me."
Fuck
I
With
used
Me.
Homicide.
Yeah, I remember. That tune is like King Distortion tune.
The classic tube with the Homicide on top. Just fucking burning those.
You're relentless. Yeah, I loved it. So funny. That gave me the inspiration for my C-tube, like shenanigans right there. I was like, Jesus Christ, like, can do that in dubstep? Like, all right, distortion, here you come.
Dude, blame 16. Don't blame me. Blame 16.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I can definitely hear that on the side and fuck with me. Yeah. Yeah, Sadu used to make his machine gun sounds like only out of gunshot samples, and he just like distorted them and like wow filtered them or something. Like
Yeah.
something
It's literally machine gun synths. Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
That was so cool to me though, because like before him I'd never met in person somebody that works so heavily with audio, like their actual sounds are audio.
Yeah,
That was really cool. I feel like I could never do that. I don't think I'm experienced enough yet with like strictly audio work to make it pop like that.
It also depends like the sound you're going for, because I've actually layered machine gun like under like a machine gun synth before, but I honestly just use the low mid end of the machine gun just to make it just sound ridiculous.
Yeah, because you get the actual like live sound out of it, you know, the sound that makes it sound so real. It's all residing in that like low end, and then you can layer whatever the hell else you want on top.
Yeah, man. Which I love doing for sampling is when you layer it with an actual synth. I haven't quite gone to the level where I'm like confident with just doing a sample as well either, but when they're layered together, I think it sounds really effective and cool.
I like layering. There have been a few tracks where like, again, Logic's stock library, like I went in and pulled out sound effects and like cut them up and layered them with bass sounds and stuff, and it was like really cool. I need to get more like Foley packs and everything just to fuck around with, especially now that I'm in Ableton. Like the audio work is just so intuitive.
Yeah, man, I just realized you guys can probably like really hear my fan.
Actually, no, I haven't heard it at all.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my headphones are on, so it's like soundproof. I was like, oh shit. My fan's wilding right now.
I heard Noisiest track with 16-bit, the machine gun one. I was like, yo, I want to do that. Yeah, basically 16 bits remix of the machine gun.
That's like one of the best dubstep tracks ever.
Dude, still. That and Red, the Red remix by Chasing Shadows.
Oh man, so freaking good. Legendary.
Dude, every time still to this day, every time I hear that song, I get goosebumps. Just the way it fucking comes in. Oh.
I can see the no scope hitting like that drop. You know what I mean?
Total COD montage. Total COD montage.
Like a frag-tage. Like
now I make all these unique sounding machine guns easy peasy. A word?
Sick. No, just kidding. It is honestly like machine gun synths are easy to make, but they're difficult to make sound good.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people like put it out with like a ridiculous amount of white noise or high end on it, and it just sounds like it doesn't sound like death in a good way. It just sounds like
sounds like ear murder.
Yeah. Death by ear murder.
Yeah, artillery cannon sound is that's
overdoing it a little. Artillery cannon sound. Roblox death sound. For
Roblox.
Oof, oof, oof.
Wow.
Yeah, man, I can't wait to be in New York and do American Tings. Like,
Oh my God! Make sure you get some bomb pizza, dude. If nobody takes you to get pizza, you can legally sue them.
I'll legally sue Cod Dubs if he doesn't bring me for pizza.
Yes.
Maybe I'll get it out of the way my first day. It's in the promoter's hands now.
Yeah. I want pizza as soon as you get in the car at the airport.
So, do you want a sound check? No, I'll pizza check, and then we'll go to sound check.
Yeah, I'm trying to pick out something first, bro. Then we can worry. Subway.
Also random. Wait, sorry, I have to reload the YouTube link. But I just thought of this too for Mixdown. It's like the simplest thing, but I always recommend going back to a project you really liked, or if people were really happy with your Mixdown when you're sending it around, and just taking I generally remember what I did, or I'll save the mixer tracks like my FX chains. But if I don't, it's nice to like go and revert back and see what you did right just by like looking through an old project for reference. There's nothing wrong with using it for reference. I think even starting a Mixdown from another project with a good Mixdown would be effective if you want to.
Yeah. Well, you should always be learning from your past. Like, obviously, there's a lot of trial and error to growth as an artist, at least in my opinion. I'm very, very trial and error based. So anything that you can go back and that you recognize as right for your vision, I think it's invaluable to have your projects saved and just be able to kind of look back on them and try and further understand how you got it to be right and what kind of things you can avoid next time so you can get to that outcome even quicker.
Exactly. Trial and error is the best way to learn, especially with producing, because you can always leave and come back, which is what I love about it.
Yeah.
Don't leave too long. I've done that sometimes, but
yeah,
it's nice to leave a project for a bit and then sit on it and do something with another project, learn something from it, or just trial and error. It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice.
I wouldn't, Necro, especially like just starting out, I wouldn't be too hell bent on what DAW you're using, especially because FL is really, really good for beginners. Just worry about what you've got for the time being, and then once you're like getting kind of comfortable, see if you want to like move on to Ableton or something like that, or even just stay with FL. Because I mean, Scott uses FL, Xcore uses FL, Space Laces uses FL, Murda uses FL. So many killers use FL.
Well, it's Fizo, Ominous. Sadu uses it.
Kaiwachi uses it.
Yeah, Jay Phelps. Samplifier. CyberOptics. Yeah, did not know that.
I'm pretty sure he does.
That's cool. Yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah, Midnight T does use FL as well too.
Mm-hmm.
Subkill, who's now Claybrook. Or Mr. Spiller. Infinite. There's infinite names I could go off.
Double O's is Ableton. Yeah, he's totally Ableton.
Yeah, he's fully Ableton.
Who else? That should be more than enough to convince you that it's a pretty good ass program. What other questions do we have here before we're ending this off? I guess we'll save like drum synthesis for next time.
Yeah.
That I'm not like super crazy wild about, but I know how to do it. But most of the time I'll just go to a sample pack. Sometimes like if a sample I feel needs reinforcement, like I'll synthesize an element to go along with it, which I think can be very, very valuable. But synthesized drums can only go so far. So like for some styles of music, it makes sense, but for a lot of styles of music, they're just going to sound way electronic and
Yeah, I only use like drum synthesis generally for intros. Like I've made like really nice like 808s, but like I wouldn't really recommend it unless it's like something you're layering on your other drums. Like layering like a synthesized snare is really nice, especially if you make one,
yeah,
particularly in like the high end area. I usually get my highs from the synthesis and then do the mid to low end outside of that. It's just nice for layering, I find, if you're gonna use it during a drop. But I'm not like super keen on using it either, to be honest. I like the more organic sounding kind of drums than the synthesis. But it's nice to go over.
Yeah. What else do we have? We went over the side chaining. Went over mixed stuff. Ugana wants to know how to Dougie. Delays or reverbs we touched on a little bit. I don't know exactly what Lewis Marshall was wanting to hear about that. But I guess we could clarify that and then use it as a starting point for next week's stream.
Yeah, that sounds good, man. Plan some guests out in the weeks coming up. Next week I'm actually going to be in New York, but I will be able to stream. I could do one with COD actually, so that works well.
Get them sewer boys in here.
Yeah, the NYC boys.
NYC coil. Actually, it's great now because VST. Reason was great even before it had VST support. They didn't give a fuck because they knew they had it like that. The Reason is sick.
It's just it's a type thing that they have it now, but it wasn't necessary for them before. But now the options are open, so yeah, I do agree. It's a nice upgrade, but they didn't need it. It was so nice already.
Yeah. That's really
didn't need it, but it's nice.
It makes me want to go more in depth with Reason, if I'm honest.
Me too,
man. So either of you like retro wave at all? It really, really depends on the artist. I'm generally not crazy hot on it, but really good retro wave stuff is tight.
I like wave. I like wave music if you've heard of it, like the sorcery kind of stuff, because it reminds me a lot of like retro wave, but it's like modernized kind of. I think a little darker and more hip hop oriented.
It's basically like sci-fi music.
Yeah, I love that. So
I'm actually gonna try making some of my. Bro, you already have a second alias? You just started making music and you have a second production alias?
That's real quick.
That's very quick.
Multitasking strong.
Yeah, no kidding. I miss when I was like 14 and had all the time in the world to do everything I wanted.
Dude, me too. I miss that.
That was the best.
We're getting there again, though. I have a pretty open schedule now, which is nice.
Yeah. I have a relatively open schedule, but like once you're thrown out into the real different. It's just different. Okay, well, I guess we can end the stream off here, and we'll just be looking for questions and everything for next time.
Absolutely.
Like Scott said, we'll likely have COD dubs on the next one. So if you're into real chop shit, then
we won't have a choppy connection, but
yeah,
there might be chops.
Yeah. So everybody, just real quick, gotta hit the plug. Make sure you get into our Facebook group. It's facebook.com/groups/Mech-Hop Militia. And if you just go in there and post or whatever, if you have any questions, we can answer them right there. Or if you have suggestions for topics for the next stream of stuff that we can kind of go over, or things that you would want to see or hear or smell or whatever the shit you kids are into these days, just do it, just throw it in the group and we'll interact. And
any support is appreciated, and we keep you up to date in there, which is nice for everyone.
Yeah, and we're working on exclusive content too, so there's going to be more of that, i.e. dropping stuff sooner there than the actual public gets it, and all kinds of fun things on the horizon. So
yes, sir.
Episode 45 out.